Macro analysis can be really difficult if you've never done it before. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do macro analysis on ES and NQ and use that to set up a trading plan. If you're new here, my name is Forrest. I'm a day trader. I trade ES and NQ futures. If you're not familiar with futures or anything like that, that's just fine. This type of analysis, this approach to macro analysis will work with stocks or any other kind of product on the market. Macro analysis is critical for actually creating a trading plan because if your intraday trades go against what your higher time frame analysis is telling you, you're probably going to have a losing P&L. Another way to say that is if I think the market is going up over the next month, it'd be weird if I traded to the downside every single day. So let's take a look at the market right now. This is something that I need to do anyways. So I figured I'd do it in a video. I've done quite a few of these because as a trader, I literally just have to review the market anyways. So that's cool. It's a win-win for everybody. If you want to join us live, click the link down below in the description of my video, that wap.com/tradeedge. There's also, after you click that link, there's two links there. So one is to our Discord where we day trade live. The other one is a free trading journal that you can use on your futures trading journey. Journaling is something that I talk about every single day. I always harp on people, ask them if they're journaling, if they had a rough day or a rough few days, ask them if they journaled. They always say no. And then, I go figure, people do it anyways. Let's take a look at the market. So interesting, the market actually just opened. It's Sunday at 6:30. So it actually just opened at 6 p.m. for futures. And we're going to start on the 4-hour chart. This is unscripted, by the way, guys, because I actually am just taking a look at the market for the first time. We have a few interesting things going on. So this is ES futures contracts. I trade ES and NQ again. You see that I had this kind of bottom support line and this top resistance line that we just broke out of. Now, this is not the first time that ES is broken out of a channel, but then still went back into it. If we look at this period here, I don't have any lines here. If we draw a line here, and then we draw another line here, this is how this broke. So this was the initial channel that I had. It broke, then it came back. We see we bounced off of this level here at 4,600 essentially, which is a round level. So we might expect something similar to happen. So first and foremost, what's something that I'm noticing on this time frame? On the 4-hour, we have this really big doji candle. The doji is this one with a very small body and a big top wick and a big bottom wick. A high volume doji signals typically a reversal in trend. So what trend were we in? Well, we were in a downtrend. We had lower highs, lower lows. To the bottom here of this channel, we smoked the channel. We look to the left, right at this price, right? What else is at this price? Well, there's this gap here. There's also this low volume node here on the volume profile. All these things that I talk about in all my videos. My thesis last week, right, just to be accountable, my actual thesis last week was that we were going to come to the 50 fib of this gap. There's this gap right here. The 50 fib is 47.30. So let's do a line at 47.30 and we'll do option J for that. So I thought we were going to come down to the 50 fib and bounce. See that we went well through that, but it could be a trap. The reason why I didn't immediately switch my bias, it was again, exactly because of what I had in mind here. I know that the market has done this recently. I know that they do this. It's too obvious once they break this level. They know that people plot these levels, and I say they, but like the beast that is the market. It's done this before. So I'm keeping that in mind. Comes down, very big bottom wick here, high volume doji. Now, my actual thoughts on this is still uncertainty. We have the doji here, but it's in the middle after cracking this low. We came into this low volume area on the volume profile. The volume profile is on the right. Volume profile shows us volume at price. So my thoughts are here to be extremely patient. I'm in essentially a strangle. So I'm going to swing strangle already, which I called out on the Discord, which is a multi-month, essentially a leap to the downside. So basically said, if this is the break, those will print. That'll be a very big trade. And then I hedged with calls. I hedged with 7 DTE calls, basically saying, okay, if this bounces and don't want to get smoked on those puts, it's like a 10K position. So the puts will print and I'll try to lose as little money as possible. It's a true hedge. This isn't a strangle where it's profitable. It's going to be profitable both sides. I'm going to put that right now. It's a hedge on the downside. The way that I'm really profitable is because I day trading futures every day. I definitely will at this point because we didn't really move on Friday how I expected. Probably if we go sideways, I'll tell you what, if we go sideways the next few days, I'm definitely going to be just red on that trade, just straight up red, which is fine. There's no way to hide it. It is what it is. But I'll cut that. Tomorrow's going to be critical. Tomorrow being Monday. So by the time you see this video, this will have already played out. But my thesis here, my plan, which I know is going to sound very, very annoying, is to wait because the market's already broken my expectations. It's already came down lower than I thought. It's created a very simple trap. It broke structure a little bit and it could very easily just do a lower low here and come down to the next major liquidity target, which would be like 4,600 area, right? We see this, a lot of volume down here, 4,620. Could come down to this magnet down here. That would be my next target to the downside. The obvious target to the upside, so let's say downside target would be down here. Upside target is, back to the top of this. Now, if this bounces here, we're probably not going to come back down here. This is the third test of this area. Probably come all the way up, break that, go to 5,000. Those are my thoughts on the 4 hour. Now let's take a look at the weekly. Let's take a look at the daily and the weekly. So on the daily, and normally I would go daily, then lower time frame. I really like the 4 hour time frame for intraday trading and thinking about the next session. On the daily, we have that nice doji candle, high volume doji. On the daily, this makes me much more keen to go to the upside. Way shorter analysis, far fewer candles, but it's daily. The thing with on the higher time frames is you have to wait for the candles to close. So right now I have a green candle and it might look like, oh, I'm right. But really I would just go long here as soon as possible, because if this starts to come red, say we get to the 50 fib of this bottom wick, I would close my long. So if I go long now, right, go to the 50 fib, probably I don't like that price. I would just cut it and play the downside. But the high volume doji makes me think that this is the bottom of this range and that we're going to return higher. That's my thoughts on the daily. And let's just do 1W for the weekly. On the weekly, you can see that we do have this higher volume red that came through. And let's actually zoom out. Let's get a little bit more of the volume profile in here. Weekly, let's go back to the COVID low. I like that pivot. So the volume profile back to the COVID low doesn't really have any nodes here. So we have this node here down at 44.80, right? I'll do an option J here. We can see this one. Let's change the color of this to like red for the video. Let's do blue. So there's that low volume node here. I have all these levels here, which are from the lower time frames, but lower I have here, and then above the next low volume node is 48.52, which is a swing high essentially. We go back to this price. So on the weekly, let's get rid of this line. The weekly doesn't give me as clear of an image as the daily. They're actually kind of contradictory. We have a pretty big red. Yeah, there's a bottom wick, but this is not a hammer candle. The body of this candle is exceptionally bigger than the bottom wick here. This very well could do a candle like this, and then like a big old one down like this, down to this, liquidity area down here. So that brings me back to what I said at the beginning of the video on the shorter time frames, intraday, based off of what I'm seeing on the weekly and on the daily. Go back to the daily. I'm long biased within, let's say, the next session, really, to see if this is a bounce. If this is a bounce, I'm long biased. We could do another doji. This is based off experience. We very well could do another doji, back-to-back dojis, which is just going to make this trap even more juicy, and it's going to allow market makers to collect a ton of premium. Look at this period here. Look at the amount of dojis that we printed. So we had bottom wick. Yes, the next candle closed green, but the range on this green candle after this red candle, it came down and almost retested this entire candle. Chop City. It was absolute chop city. Then the next candle, look at this. This is just absolute chop city. So even though we had this range, it did not range like that inside the range. It was like very sideways with, some wicks up and down. And knowing that the market just did that, I want to be prepared for it to do that again. Now, the angle of this megaphone, that's what the shape is. It's like a megaphone, like this essentially, is a little bit more extreme than the previous one. But I just want to be aware of that price action, that we very well could print multiple dojis. So I'm being patient. If we start to see volume come in on the upside on the shorter time frames, like the 15, 30 minute, the 1 hour, then yeah, that's going to give me confirmation for the long, right? We're going to see, if we see buyers step in on like the 1 hour time frame, which is still a slower time frame. If I go to my multi-time frame chart, go to the 1 hour down here, if we start to see buyers come in, right, we see a lot of volume on the green here, coming in right here. Do see some volume coming in from the lows. I want to see continuation of volume on these green here on the 1 hour. The 1 hour really, in this moment of criticality, I'm looking to the 1 hour and probably the 30 at the lowest for buy side confirmation. The 15 in this market, I'll just show you guys what the 15 has looked like. The 15-minute chart in this market has not been reliable, just hasn't. And if you know me, I love the 15-minute chart for entries, and that's fine. You have to adjust to the market, but the 15-minute chart, the range, the market's been tight. The range of the market hasn't been big enough. There's just been a lot of candles on the 15-minute with uncertainty. Now I say that in general, there have been like 1 or 2 A trades every single day. We've still been trading. And if you're watching this and you're probably like, Forrest, you've called out some good trades. It's like, yeah, I have, but it's all in context. There are much better markets than right now. I'm just going to say there are much better days, sessions than we've had. So that's really what I'm trying to convey in this video. I want the 15-minute chart to get back to that premium 15, that juicy 15-minute that I love and appreciate. And it's really easy mode trading. I love easy mode trading because I want to lever up. One of the things I talk about is, position sizing. When I see really good trades, you will see me lever up instantly. It's like an instant reaction. If I feel really good about a trade, I will 5x or 10x my position sizing. I'll go from 5 M in Q, which is trading in Q. You still make, $500 and 50 points like that. But I'll go to like 2 in Q immediately just to capture a very, very high certain trade. So obviously the more of those, the better. But that's what I'm thinking for the market right now. I'm actually going to I'm going to wait. I was thinking about opening up my broker and maybe thinking about prepping for a long, but I'm going to wait until RTH. Actually, that is is the proper way to do macro analysis. It's not a science project. I literally just did a video talking about the 5 biggest mistakes that traders make that cost them money. And this, not doing macro analysis, higher time frame analysis is one of the biggest ones. If you go into the market and you're only looking at the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and you're trying to figure out if it's going to bounce off of this little area, you're entirely missing the larger picture and the bigger moves, especially if you're trading what I'm trading, which is ES and NQ, where you can catch really big trades quite easily. So be patient, look at the higher time frames, do your higher time frame analysis. And if you want help doing this analysis or comparing yours to mine, hop into our Discord. The link is down below. It is the wap.com/tradeedge link. There's a link to our Discord, 1 month free trial. Also, if you want to sign up for a prop account with Apex Trader Funding, you can use my code, which is down below in the description of this video. It will give you whatever the current discount is, which as of the filming of this video is 71% off, which is a pretty good discount. I use them. Get yourself 20 accounts. It's a great way to leverage your P&L if you're a profitable trader, or maybe you can just grab one if you want to try your hand at it. In any case, my name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. You should too. See you in the next video.